Hello guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to the first episode of Politik Goreng. In this series, I'll be interviewing politicians and candidates for the upcoming state election in various different areas, and they will be from different political background, different ideology and different perspectives. So I'll be asking them what is their point of view towards the upcoming state election, what's their manifesto, and what they wish to do to the people in their area. And today I have a special guest with me. He's one of my friends and he's also a candidate from Muda, from Parti Muda, and he'll be competing in Kota Anggerik. And I really appreciate for his time because I've just had a futsal game with him, and then he has a full day, compacted full day, a very busy day with all his campaigning event. I really appreciate his time that he's able to squeeze out some time for this interview. And let's see what he has got to say to the people of Kota Anggerik. Hello guys, so today with me I have the candidates for Kota Anggerik, Azad Akbar, with me. Let's welcome him.
Hi everyone.
Okay, Azad, so today we're going to do an interview on your view towards the politics in Malaysia and also what you hope to bring to the citizens of Kota Anggerik. So let's start off with a few questions. So first of all, can you briefly introduce yourself to us?
Okay, so my name is Azad Akbar. I'm a lawyer, 35 years old. I'm also the head of policy for Muda Selangor, and also the head, or rather what they call Ketua Parlimen for Muda Klang. Yeah, I suppose that's a brief description of me. I'm also candidate number 3 for Kota Anggerik, and contesting under Parti Muda's banner.
Candidate number 3. Yes, remember, it's number 3. And then, would you use 3 words to describe yourself?
Well, I'd like to use a lot more words, but okay, I'll just go with
If
3
you
words.
have 3 words.
Alright. I suppose I try to think a lot, so thoughtful, I guess. I try to think of others, so I suppose you could say I'm considerate. I try to keep to what I say, so I guess you could say I'm a person with integrity. Yeah.
And then moving on to the next question, why do you want to come out as a candidate to compete in this state election?
Okay, personally, see, what I've noticed is that, despite us having been independent 66 years,
Yeah.
well, it'll be now 66th year this August 31st, we're still stuck on race, religion sort of issues, you see.
Definitely.
So I think this is something that we must move past. And personally, as a person who hails from a multiracial background,
Do you mind sharing on that?
yeah, sure. So my mom is Hakka Chinese, my dad is Indian Muslim, and I'm a constitutional Malay. I went to university in UiTM. I have a whole host of different perspectives as well, where I attended both Chinese primary school as well as Sekolah Agama. Right. My secondary school was a series of typical kebangsaan style schools. Then of course in uni I went to UiTM. So I think I have a sort of a diverse education package, so to speak. Yeah.
Wow, you've gone to so many kinds of schools and you've learned Chinese as well, right?
Correct.
Then do you
Correct.
mind, just show all the audience in front watching this video a little bit of your Chinese skill?
可以啊，我的
Maybe
名
just
字
introduce
叫做 Azad， 我是律师，今年35岁。I don't know what else do you want me to say.
It's okay, that's enough, that's really good. Thank you so much. And then, okay, so what do you think are the flaws that is with the policy of the previous, or we say the incumbent state assemblyman?
Okay, actually before we go there, I was supposed to explain why I wanted to be,
Yeah,
why I wanted to contest. Yeah, so I think to tie it all together was just that I wanted to bring the whole host of my different perspectives to try to see if we can resolve this racial and religion issue, because
Yeah.
we haven't actually seen a politician who comes from this diverse background
Yes,
trying to
yes.
solve the issue. What
You're
we
the first
see,
one that I've ever met also with so many kinds of different background.
yeah. So I was thinking that I would like to see, or at least try to be the person that that all Malaysians can look up and say that this is someone who can speak for me. That's what I would like, or rather what I aspire to be. Whenever we talk about policy, I think there's two parts that we need to look into. There's the legislative aspect of it, which translates to the laws, and then you have the administrative or executive aspect to it, which actually goes on to be about the actual policy stances that the government may take. So right now, when we're talking about Selangor, right, what we can see is that there's a heavy emphasis, I would say, on creating state revenue and keeping it that way. But sadly, there is to a certain extent a bit of, I wouldn't say neglect, but I would perhaps say the state may prioritize less, the welfare of the people. Like for example, it was not too long ago where there was a whole kampung of people who have stayed there for a long time. This place called Kampung Koskan. So PSM invited Muda to join in as well, and we assisted them, the villagers there, on this matter, and to try to secure them at least some alternative housing as they were being evicted from the land. So we try to look at it from a humanitarian aspect or point of view, because when you evict these people from their homes, there's always a question of where are they going to go. You can't just leave them hanging dry, you see. So that was when Muda came in, of course with PSM, and we assisted them, and I think we managed to secure them at least a deal with the state government and the developer to secure them alternative routes.
Right, Azad. Then I'd like to ask the next question. So, what is the issue in your area, which is Kota Anggerik, because you are competing in your sending in Kota Anggerik, right? So, what's the issue that you think you would like to solve in Kota Anggerik? What's the issue that citizens in Kota Anggerik are currently facing?
Okay, I think what's happening in Kota Anggerik is actually something that's quite similar to a lot of it's similar to what's happening across Malaysia, where what you see is that whenever a new politician comes in, he wants to make his mark by starting some kind of a project, which is then later abandoned and not attained once a new politician comes in. Like for example, when we talk about Kota Anggerik specifically, there are these two places called Laman Seni, alright? So there's one in section 2, one in section 7. So what happened was that this was a project where they got local artists to draw murals in certain alleyways to try to brighten up the area. So this happened, I believe, in about 2014. However, if you were to go there today, what you'll see is that these murals have not been maintained. They have not been replaced with any new murals, and the alleyways have now turned into a bit of an eyesore. This is an example of the kind of projects which are started and abandoned, and it's just left like that. So right now, of course, what Najwa and Halimi seems to have been working on is Kebun community, which is a communal sort of like garden, which is spread out throughout Shah Alam. You have all these different Kebun communities. So what I would like to do is, rather than be the kind of politician who comes in, starts a new project, leaves it, and then and leave the previous politician's work hanging high and dry. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to continue on with what is good in the previous, politicians. With the previous politicians, I would like to kickstart and refurbish Laman Seni Section 2, Section 7, continue all this Kebun community, I know it's a lot of work, but I think that there is a local scene for all of this, and I think this needs to be continued. But personally, what I want to kickstart is a startup hub culture here in Calon, because we have 3 universities here, and I think that we have all these bright young minds who can contribute to the economy of Calon, and I want to bring that.
Okay, then currently you are doing this campaigning event for the election, right? Would you mind telling us how's the campaigning going on? Like, do you mind giving us an insight into how has it been?
Well, I suppose I could start by saying that campaigns are incredibly expensive. You've got all these expenditures like flags, banners, buntings. You need a lot of people for that manpower to go down to the ground, meet the people. There's a lot of background work as well. The hours that you need to spend in every day. My day starts at 6, ends at 11, 12 at night, and it restarts again the next day. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I think it's needed and crucial to get your name and your face out there. What I would like to see, of course, is that we do not have to expend such funds during the campaign. I would like to see a future platform where everyone knows, okay, so this is where I go to meet and find out about about the candidates which are contesting in my area. I think we need this sort of a platform so that we can reduce or eliminate this kind of expenditures. I would rather see that money go to something which actually contributes to the public. The way I see it, spending money on flags, posters, banners, buntings is not very environmentally conscious as well.
And some people, after they got the flyer, they will just throw it away.
Correct.
Maybe they might not be interested in it, but just take it for granted, right?
Yep. But in this system, in the world we live in nowadays, we unfortunately have to subscribe to it to effect that change. That's how I'm looking at it. Even though it's something I don't want to do, I don't subscribe to this. But unfortunately, we have to at this point. In the future, I would like to see this change now, of course.
I agree with you.
Let's take a break.
Azad, so I think there's this question that a lot of people are currently focusing on a lot, which is on undi 18, because as you know, our country has currently implemented this undi 18 policy whereby we allow young adults who have turned 18 years old to start voting. So what are your thoughts on undi 18? And also, do you have any advice on young adults who will be casting their votes soon?
I think it's quite simple. I mean, if you can be charged for a crime, why can't you vote? So that's my answer to that.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. So, by all means, when you are given this right, I think it's very important as well to understand the significance of giving a vote, in where you are considered to be then part of society. You see, and with being part of society comes with a responsibility, and that responsibility is expressed through your right to vote, because you are then determining the course of how society will be run by electing that particular people's representative to stand for you, whether it's in the state legislative assembly or parliament. So when you ask me what advice would I give, well, I would say read. Yes, because you need to know who are the candidates for your constituency. You need to know the background, the philosophies that they are espousing, the policies that they want to push for, whether their policies are sound, whether they're not sound, what ultimately will take Malaysia or Selangor into a better space. So this is how you need to look and compare your potential candidates before you as a voter. And I want to stress this, even though many are saying that only 18 voters, they're too young to vote, etc. But if you were to look at the whole age groups that you have in Malaysia, I don't think there's much difference, I would say, in the sense that you can have irrationality from any age group of voters. So I would say that it's not a question of age, rather it's a question of experience. Because why delay it to 21 rather than having them vote at 18? Maybe they make their mistakes there, if any, or maybe they start to realize that, hey, look, this is actually something of significance, and then they start investing more time into looking at it. I think we need to acknowledge the fact that only 18 came about fairly recently, and there was an election that came in very recently as well. This age group may not have been as prepared as the future generations that will be subject to this only 18 voters. So I don't think we should judge the policy too harshly. I think we need to recognize that it's a good step as it introduces this responsibility earlier on.
I see. Azad, so now we have one last question for you, and I think this is a really interesting question. So if you were being elected as the Prime Minister, so I'm just saying if you are having a chance to be the Prime Minister of the country, what do you wish to change on the political and economical structure of the country?
Well, that's a very big question. Let's see. I think we need to recognize that Malaysia is a country which has a lot, but also lacks in comparison with certain of our regional neighbors. Our strengths are this: we have a very strategic position in the Straits of Malacca. Alright? We have to recognize also the fact that we have a decent amount of landmass, a decent amount of resources, and I would say that we have a pretty good standing in the sense that our human resource capital is quite highly skilled as compared to our regional peers. But when we talk about sheer numbers, we lose out.
Sheer numbers.
I mean, simple population, right? When we talk about the population, we can't compare with Indonesia, we can't compare with Thailand, we can't compare with Vietnam.
Yes, I agree with you. We are not that highly populated.
I think when we talk about economic structure, there's a heavy emphasis on trying to cater towards markets that prefer low labor wages. These are like manufacturing jobs, etc. I think we need to make that pivot, and we need to make that pivot soon into higher end services. So that is, I think, something that I would like to change. It's not an easy path because I think many countries face this challenge as well. They call this the middle income trap. So it's a tricky deal as well to try to get out, but that is something that I would like to do. How I would like to do that is I think we need to strongly support service-based industries to elevate ourselves past this middle income trap. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Azad, for your time. Then, lastly, we would like to ask whether you have any last few words for all our lovely audiences watching this video.
Alright. Well, I suppose I could say this. Come down to vote on this August 12th. The right to vote should not be taken lightly. It is the way in which you can express your political will to decide who is going to be your representative in the DUN, or Dewan Undangan Negeri, otherwise known as the State Legislative Assembly. Remember, it's a very important deal because this person is the one who is going to voice out your rights, your concerns in the hall that's deciding the laws of this state. It is also the hall in which your representative is going to be able to question the executive policies of the Selangor state government, or if you're in another state, that state government. Remember, a lot rests on this. Exercise your right to vote. Make sure you come down. Whether it's for MUDA or any other political party, just come out and vote.
That's a lot of work from you. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. don't forget to cast your vote because your vote matters. Thank you, Azad. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.